Thank you, Anita, and thank you, Sharon, for introducing me. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to address this virtual webinar on diabetes. At this outset, I would like to thank Regita and Dr. Matthew John for giving me an opportunity to address this webinar. As you are aware that today's my topic is on my client with diabetes is convalescing after a hospital discharge. How can we plan his nutrition? Slides are not moving. Yes, before I start, patient education is very important to discharge to avoid the complications and readmissions. It should be a multidisciplinary approach of convincing the patients about the discharge and all the nutritional formalities. The multidisciplinary team should involve physician, nurses, dietitian, and certified diabetes educators. The current recommendations suggest that planning for discharge for outpatient setting should begin at the time of hospital admission itself. So first, the instruction should be given to the patient is on general instruction should be, it should involve the prevention of hypoglycemia, which is more common. So it should be instructed that they should not skip or delay meals or snacks if taking insulin or oral diabetes medication. They should be consistent about the amount eaten and the timing of meals and snacks. They should monitor the blood sugar depending upon the treatment plan, and they should check the blood glucose levels. If the blood glucose levels is below 70, they should eat or drink 50 grams of simple concentrated carbohydrate and wait for 15 minutes and check the blood glucose again. And then if still the blood glucose has not increased, an additional 15 gram carbohydrate can be given, follow up with a light snack or meal once glucose is stable. Mild to moderate hypoglycemia can usually be reversed rapidly within 5 to 10 minutes. It is advisable to tell them to avoid foods high in fat because they slow the absorption of carbohydrates. If some patients, they adjust the medications if they eat additional snacks or increase the physical activity. This should be considered only with the advice of the treating physician. They should not do it independently by eating more and increasing the physical activity, because it depends upon the type and length of physical activity and what they have eaten. So this is one instruction, it has to be given to the patient on discharge. Now, coming to the nutritional management, dietary control is very important in the treatment of diabetes, and the diabetes need to be carefully planned depending upon the type of diabetes, individual needs, body weight, age, sex, and any comorbidities, and how physically the person is active is. So first of all, we need to calculate the energy intake of the patient. For that, we need to know the height and weight of the patient. So for that, we need to calculate with the height and weight. As you know, we need to calculate the BMI, that is weight in kg divided by height in meter squares. We get to know that the patient is whether normal weight or overweight, obese, or underweight category. As per the WHO classification, if the patient falls below 18, then considered as underweight. If the patient falls under 18 to 24.9, it is considered as normal weight, and if it is between 25 to 29.9, considered as overweight, and above 30 is considered as obese category. This is as per the WHO. Asian Pacific classification is slightly different, that underweight is same as less than 18, and 18 to 22.9 is considered as normal, and 23 to 24.9 is overweight, and about 25 is considered as obese category. So depending upon their weight and activity level, the calories has to be calculated. If the patient is obese, then it has to be 20 kilocalorie per kg body weight, normal 30 kilocalorie body weight, and underweight 40. There are different calculations for energy. This is one of the simplest calculation which can be done. That's why I've taken this. It is not mandatory to take this alone. There are different calculations available, but this is one of the simplest method which we can calculate the energy requirement for the patient. Coming into the carbohydrates, as you all know, that energy comes from carbohydrates and fats. The daily intake of carbohydrates should not provide more than 55% of the calories to prevent ketosis. Complex carbohydrates with more fiber are recommended to simple carbohydrates like sugars. The percentage and distribution of carbohydrate will vary with the insulin regimes and treatment goals, and also individual habits. Diabetes need not restrict the carbohydrate intake, but they can alter the type of carbohydrates in their diet. They can eat complex carbohydrates like whole cereals, pulses, and vegetables, and avoid simple carbohydrates. Patients should monitor their carbohydrate intake either through carbohydrate counting or meal planning, exchange list, or flexibility and variety in meals. Choice and quantity of carbohydrate depends upon the glycemic index and the glycemic load of the foods. Coming to the protein should be of high biological value and provide about 20% of the calories in the diet. Adult diabetes without complications should be are able to maintain good health with 1 gram protein per kg of ideal body weight. During childhood and adolescence, pregnancy and lactation, the requirements are higher by increasing the protein by 10 to 15%. But in renal complications, protein need not be given more than 0.8 gram per kg ideal body weight per day. 25% of the calories as fat is satisfactory. Vegetable oils rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, polyunsaturated fatty acids should be preferred over saturated fatty acids. Foods high in saturated fat and cholesterol should be limited. Oils like sunflower, safflower, soya, mustard, groundnut, and gingerly oil can be used for cooking. Saturated fat present in butter, ghee, coconut oil, red meats, egg yolk, and whole milk and milk products should be less. And fats like trans fat like vanaspati should be completely avoided. Foods that are rich in fiber and reduce the rate of glucose absorption. It lowers the blood glucose level, glucose absorption, lower the blood sugar rise, decrease the urinary excretion. It slows the stomach emptying and delay the intestinal transit time. Fiber also contributes to satiety and consequent decreased food intake and helps to reduce weight. This fiber also contains complex carbohydrate that are slowly digested and absorbed, such as pulses, brown rice, whole wheat, bread. Chapati can be made out of wheat flour, and wheat bran can be added, or rolled oats. So whole oats can be mixed, or ragi can be mixed with the flour and made chapati to increase the fiber content, which helps to produce less rise in blood sugar and less excretion of urinary sugar than an equivalent amount of carbohydrate taken as sugar in tea. And vitamins and minerals, yes, it is required in essential quantities. It should be included from the fruits and vegetables. Let's plan a diet for my client who is 53-year-old and 162 tall and weight of 83 kgs. As I said, the calories, since the patient is 53 and 160, BMI 83, weight is 83, BMI calculated, and is considered coming into obese category. So I'm taking the 20% for the calories, so coming into 1660 kilocalories per day of calories is required. And 20% of the total calories, which comes to 83 gram of protein per day. Carbohydrates, 55% of the total calories, so 228 grams of carbohydrate can be given to that patient, and 103.7 grams of fat per day can be calculated for this obese patient. So while planning the menu, always consider should be a customized approach to the patient. It should be a personalized approach. The patient's likes and dislikes has to be taken into consideration, and then plan the diet according to the nutritional requirement. Like we have calculated the calories, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and all. So these should be calculated with the patient's concurrence, with the patient's liking, and then it is easy to um, control the diabetes in a very nice manner. So the diet should be included with high in fiber, low in fat, with low glycemic index foods. Instruction should be given that they should not skip meals and eat meals and snacks at the same time and each day. Can create a plate strategy to change the portion size. Some people eat more portions, so they will not know when we say that one cup and one serving, like that. So plate strategy is a very good method to make them understand the eating habits. So these are the guidelines which can be given to them on instructions can be given. They can replace whole milk with skim milk for tea, coffee, curd, and paneer. They can choose whole grain cereals like long grain basmati rice or parboiled long grain rice. Oats, preferably go for rolled oats or whole oats. They should not go for oats thinking that it is high nutritious. They should not go for refined oats. And quinoa, barley, quinoa and all is easily available nowadays in Kerala. So it can be taken. Barley and whole pulses should be preferred, and sprouted pulses can be included in the diet. They should be advised to avoid refined carbohydrate like sugar, juices, jams, jelly, sugar, candies, honey, and all those things should be avoided. They should avoid the roots and tubers, especially the potato, sweet potato, and all. But carrot and radish can be allowed for them. Make the plate a colorful and make it with fruits and vegetables as major portion. With whole grains, beans, nuts, and lean portion of meat can be given. Fish or chicken, those who are non-vegetarians. Vegetarians can go for sprouts, or a combination of cereal and pulse combination should be given to have the better protein quality. And the fruits has to be restricted with low calorie fruits like orange, musambi, pineapple, guava, and papaya, pineapple, and can be given. That should be restricted to 60 to 100 grams per day, depending upon the HbA1c levels. If the HbA1c level is quite high, I would suggest that you should reduce the quantity of fruits also, because fructose sugar can also increase the blood glucose levels. With these words, I would like to conclude that topic, and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, and eat safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much.